Okay. Now, I want to do a quick video because I'm noticing a lot of things, right? I am noticing that a lot of people, number one, are stealing my content and they are regurgitating it, or they are re verbalizing it, or they are reconceptualizing it as their own, and they keep messing things up. Okay. When you say something on YouTube, somebody's going to go to your platform, right, and listen to your content and then say it on their platform as if it's their idea. So what I did as Siyakosani, president of South Africa will succeed, right? As president of South Africa will succeed, what I did is this. I started a second YouTube channel, which is this one, South Africa will succeed. My first YouTube channel is still operating, okay? President Siyakosani, my first YouTube channel is called President Siyakosani, okay? President Siyakosani, South Africa, okay? So I started this YouTube channel where I'm just going to post solutions to South Africa's problems on this channel. I am doing that so that everybody who wants solutions to South Africa's problems can just come here. Okay. On my first YouTube channel, South Africa will President Siyakosani. On that one, on the President Siyakosani channel, I basically do reactions and I talk once a week, right? I'll make a long video once a week where I communicate to the public and I say things, right? When I only started that YouTube channel, I think last month, right? So yeah, I think we've only been operating for 4 weeks on that channel, and that channel is still growing. But still, even though my channel is still growing, I still have people who go there and they just steal what I say, and they steal what I say and then they say it their own way and they end up messing things up. Okay. Even politicians are doing that. Do you guys understand? Floyd Shibambu said something that I conceptualized and he messed it up. Now, Floyd Shibambu is a communist. Okay. Floyd is a communist. Floyd does not believe in anything that I believe in, and I don't believe in anything he believes in. Okay. Floyd is a communist. Julius Malema is a communist. The ANC is a communist organization. These people don't care about South Africa. That's why I decided to do a second channel where it's only solutions to South Africa's problems. Okay. So South Africa will succeed is this channel, this YouTube channel, South Africa will succeed. And our organization's name is South Africa will succeed. Okay. On this channel, I want to give the people of South Africa solutions to our problems because there's only one real way. There's only one real way to fix South Africa. There's only one real way to fix this country, and it's very simple. It's very, very simple. The reason why we are here today in a country that does not work is because our leaders that are given to us, because these leaders are given to us, make no mistake. Musi Maimane and all of these people are given to us. Gayton McKenzie, all of these people, clowns, complete clowns. John Steenhuisen, complete clowns, complete clowns. These people are given to us. Okay. It's not like South Africa chose these people. No, these people are given to us. This is why I call them celebrities. I don't refer to them as politicians. I refer to them as celebrities. A politician is somebody who's supposed to have solutions. These people don't have any solution to any problem that South Africa faces. Because their goal is not to solve South Africa's problems. Their goal is to steal money. If there is one thing that Floyd Shibambu said correctly, is that each and every one of these organizations, their main goal is to just steal money. Floyd was right, and everybody knows it. South Africa knows it. Each and every one of these organizations' goal is to just steal money and become billionaires. Everybody wants to become the next billionaire. Okay. And the reason why South Africa will succeed as an organization, even though we've been here since 2017, the reason why we haven't been focusing on running for elections or running for running to be the councillor, running to be the mayor, we are not contesting elections because the IEC itself is a corrupt organization. The Electoral Commission of South Africa is a corrupt organization. It's an ANC Reserve Bank organization. It's corrupt. Okay. That's the first point. The second point is, if I were to run, if this organization were to run, they would assassinate me. Okay. This is why I never show who I am. None of us, my lawyers, my civil engineering team, my domestic defense force, our private military, we don't show our faces because we're not stupid. Okay. From 2017 until today, we've been investigating the ANC. We've made a few arrests. We've been arresting the ANC members that are at the bottom. We've been working with the SIU, exposing the lottery, exposing the school teachers that are sex trafficking children, exposing foreigners. We've been doing all these exposés. Okay. And right now, we are investigating all these people in the Eastern Cape that are now coming out being exposed for not having the proper qualifications and things like that. That's us. These are investigations that we did back 2017, 2018, 2019. We've been exposing the government of the Eastern Cape for not being qualified. These people are buying qualifications from the University of Fort Hare. Everybody knows that. ANC buys qualifications. These people are not doctors. These people are not educated. They don't have diplomas and national degrees and all these things. These people are thugs. And now it's coming out. In 2025, now it's coming out. We've been investigating these people since 2017, right? So now people are listening to my previous YouTube channel and everything I talk about. They then go to their YouTube channels and then they talk as if they're somebody, right? So I said, okay, let me start a new YouTube channel. South Africa will succeed, and we'll talk about it. Okay, I'm giving solutions to every problem in South Africa. Okay. Now, when I talk about the success of South Africa, I specifically talk about the success of the citizens of South Africa. Okay. Let's make no mistake. You cannot separate the country from the citizens, Mmusi Maimane. You cannot separate the country from the citizens, Julius Malema. You cannot separate the country from the citizens, Helen Zille. Okay? You cannot separate. You cannot say South Africa will be successful, but the black people of South Africa are going to be poor. That it doesn't work like that. You can't say South Africa will be successful. The GBB economic growth, like Mmusi Maimane and Helen Zille always talk about economic growth, or 0.5% economic growth, 0.5%, and all this nonsense they keep talking about that nobody understands what it means. All this nonsense that means nothing. You cannot separate the success of South Africa from colored people. Okay. So first things first, when we are talking about the success of South Africa, we mean the success of the citizens of South Africa, specifically. White citizens need to be successful in South Africa. Every white citizen needs to make money. Black people need to be successful in South Africa. Every black person needs to make money. Colored people, every colored person in South Africa needs to make money, and that is standard. Indian people, that is standard. That is step one of South Africa will succeed. Step one. Everybody needs to have a job first before we even talk about business. Everybody must have a job first. That is standard. And then when you've saved up enough money, you can then open whatever business you want. Okay. Everybody must have a job first. You cannot fix South Africa's economy without this. Okay. Now, in South Africa, remember in my previous episode, if you guys can go back and listen to what I said, even though we were working, we were fixing roads, we were on site, right? In my previous episode, we were on site. The episode that I just dropped, where I said 68% of all South African citizens are living in poverty. Look at this, guys. I'm about to show you. Look at this. Okay, look at this. 68%. 45 million people are living in poverty in South Africa. These are people's families. These are people's marriages. Okay. The citizens of this country are poor. The reason why, when they look at statistics, this is what Statistics South Africa, right? This is what Statistics South Africa said. They said that no, it's only 40% or 42%, something like that, right? And this is because they are looking at the foreigners as well. So they are looking at the population of South Africa. Okay. They are looking at the South African population, which includes foreigners. Okay. So when you include foreigners, the stat for poverty goes down. Because you have cities, for instance, in Cape Town. Foreigners in Cape Town are multimillionaires, right? So when you look at a province like the Western Cape, poverty in the Western Cape will only be 44% because of foreigners. 20% of those people are foreigners. So 20% of the population, right? So this statistic, the poverty rate of the citizens, the people of South Africa, is 68%. And that's 45 million citizens of South Africa. Not foreigners, citizens of South Africa. Okay. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Does this make sense so far? Statistics South Africa calculates foreigners as well because they calculate the population, which is foreigners. As soon as somebody says population, you must understand that they include foreigners, they include a bunch of people. Okay. Because foreigners have bank accounts, foreigners have SIM cards, MTN, Cell C, Telco Mobile, Vodacom. Foreigners have cell phones. So when you calculate foreigners, obviously the stat is going to go down when it comes to poverty because some of these foreigners are multimillionaires. Asian foreigners in South Africa own businesses, warehouses, they own property. Nigerian foreigners in South Africa own businesses. European foreigners, even Zimbabwean foreigners. I know a lot of Zimbabwean foreigners who are multimillionaires in South Africa. Okay. Especially in the construction industry. The construction industry of South Africa is full of foreigners. It's full of these guys, Zimbabweans, right? Otherwise, the citizens of South Africa, make no mistake, I don't want anybody making a mistake. The citizens of South Africa is a clear 68%. So all of us can agree that traditional politics does not work. All of us can agree that this is a failing system. You know, every time you criticize the political system, they say, oh no, but the ANC is building schools and the ANC is building bridges and they are, look at all these bridges. Look at, they are building bridges and they build schools. Right. This is what the people, they all, when they defend the ANC, they're saying, oh, but they're building bridges and building schools. You know, when I keep saying in my previous, in my other YouTube channel, I said South Africans are stupid in the sense that we as South Africans, we say the dumbest things and we don't even know it because of our own little demons that are living inside of us. Corruption is a demon. When you're a corrupt person, you say stupid things. Racism, a demon. When you're a racist person, you end up saying stupid things like Helen Ziller. Helen Ziller literally went to an interview and said it's not her fault that black people are poor and colored people are poor in the Western Cape. And she said, well, there's too much crime. There's nothing she can do about it. This person is a politician. If you guys want to know which interview I'm talking about, listen to the TD interview. Helen Ziller and TD. Just write Helen Ziller and TD or TD and Helen Ziller. The late TD, the obese lady, the lady who's obese who passed away recently. Earlier this year, Helen Ziller was talking to that lady. And Helen Ziller was like, oh, well, there's just too much crime in Guguletu. There's nothing we can do. And this person is a politician. This is a South African politician who's talking like this. Imagine a South African politician saying, well, there's nothing I can do. But hey, vote for me. It's like, what the? This is Helen Ziller, a South African politician saying there's nothing she can do for black people. Black people literally make up 80% of the South African population. When you're saying there's nothing you can do for black people, you are indirectly saying there's nothing I can do for 80% of this country. But hey, vote for me. Okay. So you can tell that these politicians are sick. There are little demons that are living inside of these people to the point where they don't hear how ridiculous they sound. Okay? Guys, you people voted for your favorite political parties last year. It didn't work. We became poorer. It didn't work. Okay. And it hasn't been working for a long time. Voting does not work. Foreigners don't vote, but foreigners have more money than you. They have more businesses than you. They're making more money than you, and they don't vote. Okay. Now, here's what nobody talks about. If we are talking about the population in South Africa, right, we are talking about 45 million people who are living in poverty. Do you guys understand that there are so many bad things that alone, 45 million people living in poverty? Obviously, there's going to be crime. Obviously, there's going to be rape. Look at this, the rape capital of the world, South Africa. Obviously. Obviously, there's going to be foreigners. Obviously, everybody's going to be a criminal because people have children to feed. Everybody's going to try to rob somebody. People have families. Do you guys understand? People have families. People are out here getting divorced. As a man, obviously your wife is going to divorce you. If you're a man and you can't provide any solutions for your family, obviously that will affect your love life. Obviously. You can't still be a leader if you are broke. If these people are saying 45 million people, how many men? Think about it. From those 45 million people, if 13 million are children, from 45 million, 13 million are children. How many adults are there? How many men are there? Okay. The majority of that 45 million, of those citizens, of that 45 million people, those are men and women. The majority is not little kids. Kids only make up 13%. 32 million citizens of South Africa are adults who are poor. If you remove the children, it's still 32 million are still remaining, and they are poor. These are men and women. These are people with dreams and families, and these are people who should be just falling in love and building businesses and building families and all of that. These are people who should just be experiencing the human life. Like, these are human beings. These are not numbers. These are people who should be experiencing life as human beings. Okay. What's happening in this country is demonic. Because of all of that, criminals have infiltrated every aspect of our government. Now, the dangerous thing is when criminals infiltrate the police services. South Africa's police is infiltrated by criminals, and that's a fact. Okay. The statistics show us that 3,000, look at this, look at your screens right now, 3,000. It's almost 4,000, it's 3,981 police officers. So this is almost 4,000 police officers are convicted criminals. Okay. 45, almost 4,000. Almost 4,000 police officers in South Africa. I want you to think about this. These are statistics. I'm bringing you statistics, guys. This is not my opinion. The government itself has said this. The government has said that all these people, 4,000 criminals, are working for the police. So if you think that crime is going to be solved in South Africa, you are dreaming. You are daydreaming, my friend. You are dreaming. If you think crime will ever be solved in this country, you are dreaming. Under the ANC, you are dreaming. Okay. You know, if you look at HIV and AIDS and all of those things, right? If you look at HIV, this is the reason why. If we are talking about 45 million people who are living in poverty, obviously there's sexual immorality, there's crime, there's corruption, there's theft, there's foreigners infiltrating our country. Do you guys understand that South Africa is officially becoming the murder capital of the world? Do you guys understand that? Do you guys understand that thousands of people in South Africa get murdered? They don't die because of car accidents. They don't die because of anything else. They die because of murder. Do you guys understand that? Thousands per year. Thousands. I think the number was 20-something thousand. It was almost 30,000. It was almost 30,000. It was almost 30,000 of the bodies that are found. Remember, in South Africa, some certain bodies are not found in South Africa, if you guys remember. People disappear in this country. and they are never found. Even people who die of floods are never found. Do you guys realize that? Do you guys understand that even people who die of natural disasters are never found in South Africa? So there are people who have disappeared in South Africa because of sex trafficking, because of other crimes. There are people who are not here anymore, who are not in this country anymore. There are people who are not alive in South Africa anymore. These are South African citizens who've just disappeared to other countries to go get killed in Nigeria, to go get killed in Malawi, Botswana, Zimbabwe, to go get killed somewhere else. So if these people are telling us that, oh, as far as murder is concerned per year, yeah, it's bad in South Africa, they're already saying it's bad. They are calculating the bodies that they can find. Okay. And they are saying it's almost what? It's almost 30,000 bodies every year. Okay. So because of all of this, obviously there'll be human trafficking, there'll be rape, there'll be abuse, child abuse, all kinds of abuses. There'll also be things like promiscuity, right? There'll also be things like promiscuity. Okay. You know, South Africans have really failed their women. The men in South Africa have failed their women. I'm just gonna say it. The men of South Africa have failed their women. The men of South Africa have failed their women. The men of this country have failed their women. I'm just gonna say it. South African men have failed their women. If you are a man in South Africa, on average now, obviously some of you are successful, some of you are making an honest living. You know, some of you, as the men of South Africa, you are just making an honest living. You are living honestly. You know, you are making honest money and you are taking care of your family. But on average, if 40, 45 million people in South Africa are living in poverty, it means the men of our society have failed us. Men of South Africa, and I'm saying this as a man of South Africa myself, I'm saying this as a man, you have failed your women and children. We, as the men of South Africa, were supposed to have risen up back in the days of President Jacob Zuma. We were supposed to have risen up back then. We were supposed to have risen up back then as the men of South Africa. As the men of this country, we were supposed to have risen up back then to save this country. We were supposed to have risen up against the ANC back then to save our country. Okay. Look, guys, I want us to understand something before I carry on. I want us to understand something. All of us have to unite under one idea, and the idea is to make South Africa a successful country. And by that, I mean to provide success for the people of South Africa. Okay. That needs to be standard. All of us have to agree on that part. Each and every one of us has to agree on that part. So the success of South Africa needs to be a unified idea. All of us have to be on board. Okay. Now, at South Africa will succeed. Here's what we are proposing. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do when I'm the president of South Africa. This is something that I will do. And this is just an introduction. This is just a brief. This is not going to be complicated. This is going to be very straightforward, okay? Guys, listen to me. Number one, obviously, we have to do away with all these ANC laws. We have to open up our economy. So every law that we are going to come up with needs to open up the economy. That's the first thing we need to do. We need to open up the economy. We need to establish laws and principles and policies and legislation, all of those things. We need to establish all of that around building the economy of the country. Meaning in every industry, we should look at every industry and say, okay, how can we, for instance, mining, how can we make mining an industry that attracts investment and domestic ownership and jobs for the people? Whether we say, okay, we must divide the mines by 2 or divide the mines by 3, and then we are gonna sell these mines. So for instance, if in South Africa, let's say in Johannesburg, there are 10 mines that are available, right? 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How many of them are we gonna sell to the international community? And then how many of them are we gonna give to the local investment groups, the local people of the community? Okay. These are the things that we need to talk about. And how can we create laws that guarantee that the people of the community will have jobs? Okay. These are just examples. How can we guarantee that the money from these mines will go to the people, and how can we guarantee the money will go to the people and go to the investors? We need to create an investor-friendly environment, but at the same time, the people must have jobs and they must make good money. Okay. And that is possible, by the way. We can do that. We can do that. That can be done. Okay. This is just an example. When I say that we must create laws that are investor friendly and citizen friendly, laws that will create jobs, this is what I mean. Now, one of you guys can have another idea as far as mining is concerned. One of you can say, oh no, let's rather do it like this. If you want to make money from your mining industry, let's do it like this. Right? So we'll have a brainstorming session about the mining industry. And then we have another brainstorming session about the entertainment industry of South Africa. Guys, South Africa we have such an entertainment industry. Our entertainment industry has so much potential. It breaks my heart. It really breaks my heart. When I see Europeans dancing to our music, it breaks my heart that we don't have South African music festivals in Europe. It breaks my heart. It really breaks my heart that why don't we have South African music festivals in Europe if the people of Europe love South African music? Why don't we have like a South African music festival with South African artists? In the US, in America, why don't we send our celebrities to have some kind of a South African music festival? So that the people of the US can buy tickets and attend the whole thing. Why are our celebrities dying broke? Okay. These are the things that we need to look at. Our film industry. South Africa makes the best content. Why don't we ever invest in these industries? The government is busy stealing money. Why don't they take 800 million and invest it in the music industry of South Africa? Okay. In the film industry of South Africa, having beautiful ladies to be actresses, of multiple races, multiple have an Asian TV show, an Afrikaans TV show, a Xhosa TV show, Zulu TV show, Sesotho TV show, or just mix them up into one show and come up with great stories. We have fantastic stories that we have not even told in South Africa. Our entertainment industry can unlock so many jobs. Just that one industry alone can employ like 5 million people nationally. I'm talking about nationally. Our entertainment industry can employ 5 million people nationally. Okay. Around the country, 5 million people could work in the entertainment industry. From music to TV shows to movies, podcasts, reality shows, the whole thing. So, guys, we can go industry by industry by industry. Farming, for instance. Why is our food in South Africa so expensive? Okay. We have so much land. Why is our food so expensive? So these are things that we need to sit down and talk about in this country. Guys, look, a lot of you, listen to me. This is important. A lot of you think when we talk about unity, you guys think that we are talking about communism. When we say unity, you guys think, oh, it's the communist unity. When people are united, it means that you want to take what belongs to us. You want to. It's a commun. No, unity basically means all of us agree on one goal. We are united on this. Okay, this unites us, and anybody that does not agree with this is a problem. Because if you don't want South Africa to be successful, then you should not be in South Africa. If you don't want South Africa, the country, and South Africa, the people, if you don't want the citizens of South Africa to be a successful group of people, then you should not be here. The EFF should not be here. Organizations like the EFF should not even be here. I think Julius Malema is a scammer. If you want to know how I feel about Julius Malema, I think he's a scammer. I don't like that guy. I really don't like Julius Malema. Two people who I really don't like is Julius Malema and Jacob Zuma. I genuinely don't like them from the bottom of my soul. From the bottom of my soul, I don't like them. I really don't like them. It's like it's just a bunch of people who I just don't like. I genuinely don't like them. These people are evil. They are evil. Exploiting poor people like this. The EFF and the MK party and fooling poor people. People voted for the MK party last year. Nothing happened. The MK party did not change jack. People are still unemployed. In KZN. People have been voting for the EFF for the past 10 years, 11, what is it, 10 or 12 years, whatever. They have not changed anything. This is why their people keep leaving. You know, all these people in the EFF keep leaving. Okay. The men of this country have failed. We have failed as men. We have failed. Okay. So here's what needs to happen when it comes to running South Africa successfully. Here's what needs to happen. When I'm the president of this country, first thing I'm going to do is this. Each and every province must elect its own premier. And then after that, each and every city must elect its own mayor. I'm going to say this again. Each and every province must elect its own premier. Each and every city must elect its mayor. Okay. And each and every province must be ran like a country within itself. So each and every province must be ran like a country within itself. KZN must be ran like a country. I'm talking about how the running of it must be ran like its own country. Okay. Meaning KZN must have, every city in KZN must have a factory and it must produce something. Each and every province of South Africa must be productive. Every city must have a factory and it must produce something. That's how we create jobs. That's how we create jobs. Okay. And if you look at the apartheid government, this is how the apartheid government created jobs. They put factories everywhere. This is how China did it. Russia. They just put factories everywhere and they produce. Okay. So every province must elect its own premier. Every city must elect its own mayor. Right. The president, me as the president of South Africa, I will make it a point that these people are doing their job the right way. Yes, as a president, I have a national plan. Yes. But my national plan needs every premier to implement it. I can't go to every province and every city as a president. That's not practical. That's why we have mayors. Mayors are supposed to make sure that every city is running the way it's supposed to run. Every government department is running the way it's supposed to run. Okay. Guys, here's the thing, and I just want to say this before I leave. Here's the thing. Here's what you guys need to understand. The ANC is not a political party. The ANC is a human rights organization. So they run like a human rights organization. They don't run like a political party. The ANC is not a political party and they've never been a political party. Okay. So they will never have any economic growth policies. The ANC is not pro-economy. The ANC is not pro-black success. The ANC is not pro-success. Julius Malema doesn't give a damn about success. You being successful, you. Floyd Shivambu doesn't give a damn about you having a job and you getting married and building a family and having enough money to support your children. These people don't give a damn. Mosma Imane, Helen Hitler, all of them, they don't care about you having a good life in your own country. Okay. So guys, my point is this. South Africa, please listen to me. Let me give you some advice, South Africa. When you listen to somebody talk, anybody who is talking on the interest of the public, ask yourself this question: does this person want us to be successful? Or is this person campaigning for their own success, like Rob Hessoff? Is this person who's talking to you like Rob Hessoff, somebody who's pretending to be for the public, but when you actually listen to him talk, he's just talking about himself and his own businesses and his own friends who are foreigners, by the way. Rob Hessoff's friends are not South African. Rob Hessoff's friends are foreigners. Okay. So when Rob Hessoff is always talking about getting foreigners to invest in South Africa, getting his friends to invest, he means getting foreigners to invest in South Africa, getting white foreigners, white European foreigners to invest, and American foreigners to invest in South Africa. Okay, so that they can dictate the new laws of South Africa, because that's how we got here in the first place. For all those of you who don't understand, the ANC and all these South African politicians, they work for the Reserve Bank of South Africa, which is a private institution that's owned by Europeans, Oppenheimers, Ruperts, Rockefellers, etc., etc. So all of these politicians work for the Reserve Bank. They get their money. Mmusi Maimane gets his money from the Reserve Bank. Julius Malema gets his money from the Reserve Bank. Okay. The DA, Helen Zille, all of them, they work for the Reserve Bank, which is a bunch of foreigners. The Reserve Bank is owned by foreigners. The Reserve Bank is not owned by South Africans. This man, who's the president of South Africa currently, he works for foreigners, European foreigners. Okay. Mr. Ramaphosa works for European foreigners. This is why he keeps borrowing money. So as the president of South Africa, listen to me, guys. This is very simple. Please listen. And I've already explained this before in my previous YouTube channel. President Ramaphosa has to keep borrowing money so that the Reserve Bank of South Africa could have money. We, the citizens of South Africa, have to pay back that money. So Ramaphosa goes around the world, he borrows money, he gives it to the Reserve Bank. We, the citizens, have to then pay back that money. So this basically means when SARS collects money, SARS must first pay back the loan, and then with whatever money is then left, he then gives it to the government of South Africa. So our money that SARS collects goes to the loans that President Ramaphosa keeps borrowing. All these monies, the COVID money, if you guys remember the 500 billion for COVID, and all these monies, this man keeps borrowing money every day. Okay. This man keeps borrowing money every day. He gives it to the Reserve Bank. So the Reserve Bank, the people that own the Reserve Bank will be trillionaires. And the citizens of South Africa have to pay for that. This is why your bread costs 20 rand. Your bread that used to cost 10 rand in 2016. Today it costs 20 rand, almost double. Okay. This is why all these things are happening in South Africa, guys. This is why you can't afford food. This is why you can't even afford a decent car in South Africa. You can't afford to spoil yourself in South Africa. You can't afford to get married and build a family in South Africa. Okay. Everybody's getting divorced. People are fighting every day. Women are becoming sex workers. Right? All of these demonic things are happening because of politicians who are listening to the Reserve Bank, their employer. So there is no South African political party in the mainstream that will ever save South Africa. Not when they get their money from foreigners, European foreigners. Okay. Not when they still get their money from European foreigners. You think Mose Maimane is going to save South Africa so that you can become successful. That will never happen. Floyd, that will never happen. Okay. So this is important. Every city should have factories. Every city should industrialize. Okay. This is as a standard. I'm talking about something that is standard. I'm not talking about something that we have to fight for. I'm talking about something that is standard. Each and every city of South Africa must industrialize so that people can have jobs and make money. It's that simple. As far as foreigners are concerned, foreigners have to go home. And that's that. The ANC needs to go to jail. And that is that. There is no other place for the ANC in South Africa. It's prison. There is no other place. Okay. There is no other place for the ANC in South Africa. It's prison. That is it. We can't have Fikile Mbalula running around here. Otherwise, they'll just destroy the country. They'll continue to assassinate people. The ANC, listen, guys, if the ANC doesn't go to prison, they will assassinate all of us. If these people are not put behind bars, all of them, when I say all of them, I mean all of them. If they are not put behind bars, they will assassinate each and every one of us. Okay. These people are demonic. I think the ANC worships Satan. I think the president of the ANC is Satan. I think this man, this current president, serves Satan. I think Lucifer is the president of the ANC. That's what I think. Okay. Otherwise, guys, this bothers me. This thing bothers me. This thing of South African men being useless like this, it bothers me. As the men of South Africa, we should have risen up a long time ago. A long time ago. Okay. Another thing that bothers me is people leaving their home cities to go look for work somewhere else. That needs to end. We need to make it a point that every city is industrialized. Every city has an economic hub, a development zone where people can go and work and produce and make money. This thing is bothering me, this thing of people having to travel to Cape Town or people having to travel to Johannesburg. It really, really bothers me. It really bothers me. Okay. Okay, guys, let me leave you. I'm doing this video on Sunday. I'm going to see you again in a few days, maybe on Wednesday. Okay. My name is President Siyako Sani. My name is President Siyako Sani. Okay. Or just call me Sia. Right? Just call me Sia. Just say Sia. You know. I'm the president of South Africa Will Succeed. We've been doing this since 2017. Okay. We've been an underground movement since 2017. We've been waiting for the right time to rise up. Okay. We've been waiting for the right time to rise up. And that time is very close, by the way. That time is very, very close. That time is very close. My name is Siyako Sani. Guys, thank you for listening. Guys, when you subscribe to our channel, please, please, please hit the notification button. Please. When you subscribe to our YouTube channel, please hit the notification button. Please, guys, this is important. Okay? Please, this is important. I drop videos all the time. I have multiple YouTube channels. I drop videos all the time. So you need to make it a point that you follow at least 2 of my YouTube channels. So it's this channel, and then go back to President Siyako Sani. Go subscribe to that channel, right? Because over there I post every day and I do reactions every day. But on this channel, I want us to communicate with one another on this channel. on the South Africa Will Succeed channel. I want us to talk. I want us to communicate. Okay. I want us to exchange ideas. Okay. Also, guys, if you are going to copy my ideas, if you are going to listen to this, Floyd, I'm talking to you. Floyd Shivambu, I'm talking to you. If you are going to steal my ideas, at least steal them just steal the whole idea. Don't steal what you understand of the idea. Because I'm tired of Floyd Shivambu and President Thabo Mbeki stealing my ideas. Every time this year, President Thabo Mbeki has just been stealing my everything I say on my previous YouTube channel. President Mbeki was just taking all these things and then saying it. Floyd and Mbeki, in the past, I would say 2 months, in the past 2 months, okay, and then other guys, these other guys who are starting out on YouTube, all of us are new on YouTube, right? So these other guys are just listening to my content and then they are saying it their way. It's really you guys are summarizing what I'm explaining in an hour. It takes me an hour to explain these concepts. You guys say these things in 3 minutes and then you end up butchering it. You end up destroying the whole thing. Okay, these are not simple concepts. You have to explain these things. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to see you guys again. We are going to talk about some more solutions. Okay. Guys, listen to me. South Africa will succeed. God will not lose to Satan. I keep saying this. God is not going to lose to Satan. We will not allow our country to be ran by devil worshippers. Okay. We will not allow our country to be ran by devil worshippers. The ANC and the DA will no longer make our people poor in this country. We will not be poor in this country. Listen to me, guys. South Africa will succeed. Our organization is an anti-poverty organization. We hate poverty. We hate anybody that wants to make us poor. Enough is enough. It's about time we make money in South Africa. It's about time we succeed in South Africa. It's about time we manufacture in South Africa. It's about time we become productive in South Africa. It's about time we protect our women and children. It's about time we protect our families. Okay. South Africa will succeed. My name is Siyako Sani. Thank you for listening to me. I love you guys, okay? I love my country. I love my people. And we will be successful. We will defeat the ANC and the DA. I don't care who says what. We will defeat them. Okay? Cheers, guys. Okay. Okay. Now, I want to do a quick video because I'm noticing a lot of things, right? I'm noticing that a lot of people, number one, are stealing my content and they are regurgitating it or they are re-verbalizing